You are listening to Erik, Tania, and Belky on a show that is just perfectly shameless.
Hi. This is episode 2 of Perfectly Shameless. Today we're going to talk about happiness and growth. I am Belky. I'm here with Tania and Erik.
Hey guys. At the same time.
Hello. Yeah, so that's the topic being dealt with. What do you guys have to say for now?
Well, first of all, I feel like I haven't seen you guys in like forever, even though I just saw you yesterday. No, I just saw you like yesterday. Yeah, literally yesterday.
Yeah, unfortunately.
You, Belky?
I haven't seen anyone because I work.
Overnight.
Overnight, yes.
I know, it sucks.
Oh, I miss overnight. TBH.
No.
Is that what makes you happy?
No.
No. That's not what we're talking about.
You know, it was fun when it was like free will on my drunken alleyway nights, but no.
Alleyway
nights. For a living.
I used to drink in the alley, okay? I don't recommend it. I don't condone this behavior.
Why don't you recommend it?
Because you have to be responsible. I don't know who's listening. If you're over the age of 21 and you want to risk this, like, go ahead and do it. But I am not saying that I'm the spokesperson for this behavior.
You could be, though.
Anyway, I mean, I could.
That could be like your calling.
Alcoholism? Thanks.
Like Alcohol Anonymous for like
working in the alleyway.
For people who don't drink.
Hooker, thanks.
For people who don't drink.
Why do we gotta get there, Belky?
You said working, you said alleyways. Obviously, I said it. Everybody thought it.
Exactly. So what's new, you guys? What's new in your lives?
Nothing.
Before we get to the topic at hand.
Same old.
That's so sad.
I know, dude. It's
I
like
need to get out more.
The antisocial person.
Exactly.
So
okay.
you
We were
mean
just talking
by
about this,
you
that I
guys?
need to
You
get
mean
out
we?
more.
Okay,
Huh?
we need to get out more.
Yes. Rocio actually invited us
Where?
to go out.
Today?
No, well, we're planning something.
Oh, okay. I thought
Does
today. I was
going
like,
out
oh, well.
make you happy?
No.
So then,
It's crowded. But it's fun.
okay.
There's a difference between fun and happiness.
How so?
Because it's like you're having...
It's intriguing.
I don't know.
That's not being sarcastic.
I
That's
can
actually,
understand
Yeah,
that.
right?
Yeah,
There's
I
a huge
understand
difference
that.
between having fun
and
and
being
being
happy. Like, you can have fun. Like, if you go out with your friends, you can have fun. Doesn't mean that you're completely happy.
Exactly. You could be like
You're
depressed
just
and
happy
you
at
can
that
be
moment.
hiding like those like mental struggles and like
okay, but you said you're happy at that moment.
Yeah, at that
Therefore,
moment.
you are happy.
No, you're having fun.
You're having fun.
There's a difference.
It's the temporary.
You're having
like,
fun, like a little bit of like fun.
So
doesn't mean
how
happiness.
does that?
Because like the worries are still in your head, regardless. Like even though you think you're having fun because you're out and about, but
you're still concerned about
your life. Exactly.
Okay, so then, what is happiness?
I feel like there's different parts of happiness.
Yeah.
So there's happiness to where like you have to be happy for yourself, and there's happiness that you can share with someone else.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because you can't depend on someone else to be happy.
Okay.
Right. You make.
But at the
yourself
same
happy.
time, someone else can totally make you happy.
Okay.
But
'Cause
you
you
shouldn't-
allowed them
but
to.
you shouldn't depend on that to be happy. You shouldn't depend on someone else for your happiness.
So how does that differentiate from fun?
Because if you're having fun, you're not necessarily happy.
But doesn't fun like bring in happiness?
You can, but not always.
For that moment.
But it's
like
still
that
happiness.
I don't see it as happiness, though.
It's just no. I understand what Erik. I understand what you're trying to say.
Yeah, it's not happiness.
It's just confusing.
It's just fun. It's just like a night out. It's
Okay.
like, it's like, for example, like when you go through a breakup.
Okay.
And you go out drinking, and like everything goes
First
away
of
for a
all,
few
that was
seconds.
last episode's topic. Thank you.
Yeah,
And
so
now
we're going
come
back
back,
to that.
recapping.
So, like when you're heartbroken, or when you end a relationship, or when anything like that, when you go out drinking and like you try to forget, you forget for like a few hours, but you don't completely forget. It's still in the back of your head. You still end up crying that night, like how drunk you are.
Okay, so then that means that you're happy in the moment that you're.
But you're not happy. No, but you're not happy.
And then you're.
No, I think
it's still there.
I think that's just you forcing. Exactly, like forcing yourself to be happy because you're going through this like really bad patch. So you're just like, I need to go out. I need to be happy. I need to do something.
But
exactly.
It's not happiness. It's just you trying to mask
what you're feeling.
Okay, so do you believe that happiness is a permanent state?
No.
Okay.
Nobody could be happy forever.
Okay.
No, I'm concerned for people who are happy all the time.
People tell me I laugh.
I'm very concerned.
So am I.
People tell me I laugh too much.
Yeah, no, I don't trust the people that are always
happy. Yeah, me neither. It's funny. I was
just like, okay.
The people that are always happy end up having mental breakdowns and they end up in mental institutions.
Institutions?
It's the same thing.
Oh, they stab you.
That's their happiness.
Exactly.
To stab you.
Okay.
Can we?
So would you say that happiness is something that could be... Because, like, happiness is very... The whole idea of what happiness is very vague. So everybody has a different experience as to what happiness is. For me, happiness is more like a drug. It's a thing where you're like, I feel good. I need to find the next thing that's going to make me feel good. Yes. So when you say I'm having fun, a lot of my happiness is definitely correlated with having fun. So therefore, two things are very, very difficult to identify as like two different things. Because yes, you are right in the sense where like fun is you trying to distract yourself from that moment, but by you saying that it's not happiness, it's almost like robbing the moment for what it is. Okay. You know?
No, I mean it's happiness is happiness. If you feel it at the moment, that's fine. But I think what we're trying to say is it's just like it's just temporary. Like,
but does it stop being happiness because it's temporary?
I mean you do feel happy at that moment, and that's completely fine. Like no one's like taking that, but it's like you feel happy for that, just for that little moment, and then afterwards you're back to feeling like crap. So yeah, you had that moment of happiness, but it doesn't mean that you're still happy. Like you're constantly happy. You know what I mean?
So then, do you say that fun is like hand in hand with happiness?
I don't, because I could have fun and not be happy.
And name an example.
Like I could get in a roller coaster, I could be crying, but I'll still have fun.
Okay.
Like, are you happy now? At this moment?
I would say so, yeah.
Are you having fun?
Are you having fun?
Yeah.
Okay. I can't with you.
I mean, that's the thing. Because, like, you know, I could be sitting in front of the beach by myself, lonely, by myself, no thoughts, just me and myself listening to the waves, and I'm genuinely happy. I could be on the bus riding back home listening to music, and I could literally just be sitting there and stop myself from whatever is going on in my life and say, in this moment in time, am I happy? And I'm like, yes, I'm happy. Am I having fun? Yes, because the way I identify it is like I'm usually listening to music.
Okay.
And if I skip that song, then obviously I'm not feeling it.
Exactly.
If I don't want to skip that song, or if I hit replay, or if that song gives me that goosebumps, or if I instantly where I'm like, yes, I was feeling like crap, but now I feel better. It's fun to me. It's fun me dabbling into these things, you know? So fun for me is in correlation with happiness. Because I don't...
But it's not always, though. That's a thing.
I mean, everyone's different.
Isn't always fun.
Mm-hmm.
You know? Like I said, like the roller coaster example. You're fearing for your life, but you're having so much fun. That doesn't make you happy.
And see, I don't like roller coasters. Exactly. I can't identify with that, and I don't.
But assuming you were having fun on a roller coaster, that wouldn't make you happy because you're fearing for your life and you're freaking out.
At some point, you're choosing to be there.
Yes, but that doesn't make you happy. You just want to have fun.
Okay. I mean, yes, but no.
It's like, okay, this is an example. It's like, no, that's a bad example. I'll tell you guys after the show. But my example is a really good example. I'll tell you guys after.
Okay.
Okay, so why do you feel that fun's not correlated with happiness?
No, it can be. It totally can be, but it's not always.
Okay, so obviously you both have an experience where fun was not in correlation to happiness. Yeah. So, do you guys want to elaborate on that?
Okay. Like you. Okay, well, for me, let's say like when Marvin and I broke up the last time, my thing was, okay, now I'm going to start going out. Now I'm going to start like partying and doing whatever I want. And I started going out, and yeah, it was fun and everything, but every single time at the end of the night, I would always cry. Because yeah, I was having fun, yes, I would be dancing and everything, but that thought was still in my head. Regardless of how much fun or how many people I had around me, all of that bad was still in my head.
Oh, that's sadness.
So it was like I was there and yeah, I was dancing, but my head was somewhere else. So it wasn't. So the moment
was fine.
So the moment itself, like yeah, we're dancing, whatever. But my head wasn't fully there. My head was still within that heartbreak. Exactly. So, you know, it's like every single weekend, it was like, no, I need to party. I need to go out. I need to do this.
She wanted that high.
Oh, exactly. I wanted that, and it went from going out one day to going out Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. And it still wasn't enough because then Monday would come and I was back to feeling like crap.
You see, I get where she's coming from. So she basically would want to go out looking for that happiness in that fun, like you said. But she was having the fun and she wouldn't get the happiness.
Exactly. So doing all of that, it was like, all right, like, yeah, like I'm out and about, I'm with my friends, you know, but why am I not still happy? Even though, like, yeah, I'm dancing. So then would you say that in that moment in time, were you entirely happy? No. So then, wouldn't that not be happiness?
That's why.
That's what I'm telling you. So
happiness is not together with fun.
Yeah, it's not always. Okay. It doesn't always go together. Okay,
I see it. No, I'm trying to understand it because like a lot of my moments where I if not all of my moments where I associate fun, I associate happiness because I'm a person that drives with the moment where like if I'm not feeling it or if I'm not in the moment, it's not a happy moment because I'm not there completely.
Yeah. Okay, hold on. I want an outside source's opinion on this. What do you think?
What do I think is happiness, or what do I think?
No, what do you think about happiness and fun?
This is Jazmine, by the way, guys. she's our guest. She's our first guest. She's our first guest.
Her Instagram is mypupusas80.
Thank you so much for throwing that out.
#promo. And are you single?
I am.
She is beautiful.
She is single, guys. She looks like Moana. Just saying.
She looks like Moana's mom.
She got the hair, the flower, and everything.
Hawaii, what?
You know, I get both sides. Because to me, I think that happiness is such a fleeting, like, emotion. But I think that in order for you to have fun, there must be some kind of happiness in it. Okay. Now, if it's like, you know, with happiness at like a high that lasts long, then you can say, like, yeah, I'm truly happy at the moment. But I don't think that takes away from being fun.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, but I do understand the feeling of, like, almost, you know, when you're with a group of people that you love, or when you're with a group of friends, and you're doing something that you enjoy, you know, whether it's, you know, at a club, dancing, or karaoke, and you're having fun, but is it really fun if in the inside you're still hurting? Mm-hmm. Then you can't. But then you can't say that you are having fun. You're still in pain.
Yeah, but
it's just like that thought of like I'm having fun.
But see, the thing is that even then, though, there are moments where you forget, and those those little moments is
that's what you're striving for.
That's what you're striving for. So at the same time, like you can say, like,
you say it would be like it would be more like levels of happiness.
Exactly, but no, I wouldn't say levels of happiness. Levels of fun. Because you're having fun, you're not happy. Like you can forget about this pain.
Because like I go out to places when I'm sad to be happy.
Yeah.
Therefore, I go out to have fun to be happy.
Yes.
If I go back to my sadness when I come back from being with my friends, that didn't stop me from being happy in that moment. Because then that moment in time, problems, work, stress, anything.
Okay, but if all that didn't go away while you were with your friend?
So then you expect happiness to delete all that.
Yeah, you expect
it, but that's
not
happiness.
Yeah, but then fun, like you can have fun, but that doesn't necessarily mean that you're happy.
Okay.
It could be a fun moment, but that doesn't bring happiness to you.
I think we all, honestly, I think we need to move on from this. I think we all have a different definition of what fun and happiness is.
Exactly.
And I think that's probably what we're all trying to express, right?
Yeah.
Well, yeah, because I'm trying to understand, like, how my mind's just not wrapping around it. Like, how they're seeing it. That's why I'm like, wait, so wouldn't that be this or whatever?
I mean, I think, like, until you feel what others feel, then it's hard to understand. Because, like, same with me, like, I'm trying to understand where you're coming from. And I do understand it because I do feel those, like, little bits of happiness, you would say, or like when I'm having fun, but I wasn't like fully happy.
And the reason I get Tania is because I went through the same thing.
Yeah,
where I was trying to find happiness in going out and drinking and
doing things,
but
that
it wasn't.
It was just
I would get home and I would be sad because I was just like, I still felt sad.
Okay, I mean, because like from my perspective, I have my view of what happiness is not necessarily like it. Happiness is going to be moments. It's not going to be months. It's not going to be years. It's not going to be a prolonging like state.
Even with your significant other, it's not going to be every day isn't going to be happy.
So I guess for my point of view, anything that makes me feel like, yeah, you know, these people are here. I'm glad they're here, and I could see myself at some point in the night or at some point in whatever I'm doing, looking back saying these are the faces or this is the environment that I want to be with. I'm here because I want to be here. These people are what make me come back here, you know? And I guess for me, my own personal experience, it has never really been of me wanting to go get drunk to forget. It's been me wanting to go talk to my friend with beers.
I see.
And I end up drunk.
Yeah.
That's just like the outcome, but it's never like I could sit in a bar and literally be with the same glass of beer and still be talking to my friend. So I'm getting where you guys are coming from, but I guess I'm seeing it more from my point of view because I don't go out purposely
with the intention
of getting drunk.
Yeah.
I am generally, even when I say, oh, I want to go get drunk, my vision of, oh, I want to go get drunk is like me either at some bar, either watching a game and having a side conversation, or having a conversation with a friend. Mm-hmm. If there's no friend to have a full, like, blown, like, heartfelt conversation, then there's no point of me going to the bar, period. Mm-hmm. I should just stay at home.
You see, for example, me.
So then I get that.
My latest one was when we went out to
Conga room.
I got so many adioses, you guys. I ate a torta de asada, and I don't eat meat.
Okay.
You ate it?
Yes. I don't eat meat.
Dude, I had tacos too after. I was having tacos too.
And I was like, I was going through a lot. And the only people that know about this is actually Belky and Tania. But I was going through something, and that was my kind of escape from it. Mm-hmm. And at the end of the day, I still got home, and I felt like it did nothing.
Yeah.
And I ate a cow.
So that made it even worse.
Okay.
It was sad.
So then, what is your idea of happiness?
Not eating cows.
Okay, perfect.
Because you're drunk. Because someone ordered it and it sounded good.
I don't know.
You guys ate a cow.
You're fine. You're still here. But did you die?
You see a cow outside.
I mean, a cow
I don't know.
MS for murder.
I feel like for me, like, happiness is being at peace with myself.
That's your definition of happiness?
That's my definition of my happiness.
Yeah.
That's my happiness.
What's your definition of happiness?
I would say the same thing. I need to be at peace. Simplicity.
Peace.
Wow.
Yeah.
Inner.
I feel like it's
I mean, but
and you know what's and you know what's funny to me is that sometimes I feel that I have to go through like a moment of sadness and really feel my feelings. You know, like you know how sometimes when you go through a really, like, hard cry.
Yeah.
You know, like the moments where, like, you feel like you can't breathe, and then, like, it's almost like you reach to, like, that moment, like, where it's a high, then it stops.
Like the Kim Kardashian.
And then
it's just like you have that breath, like.
And then you feel like that breath of air, like, come back, and then you feel at peace as you're like, okay, like, I let it out. I let it out, and now I feel like I'm not carrying that pain.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
I agree. It's that, to me, that's what happiness is, to me at least, is just being at peace with myself and my surroundings. And that could be with, like, just by myself, like she said, at a beach, or with a group of people too. Mm-hmm. You know, because sometimes with friends and family, we don't have to say that much, but if I just feel comfortable and I feel loved and nothing else is being said, but if I just feel that connection with other people and I feel at peace, that's happiness.
Yeah. I agree. I agree. Yeah, I was just about to say that. Like, it also depends on who you're with, you know, because sometimes we tend to look for people who are not good for us.
Exactly.
Or, like, to, you know, like me, for example, like, during that time where I was going out a lot, I had my party friends, you know, and I call them my party friends because
that's all they were.
That's all it was. Mm-hmm. It was that, like, let's go out, let's go drink. Like, that's the only type of conversations we had. Like, you know what I mean? And we had drunk conversations, but the next day we were like, what? Like, so exactly. So it was that. But and then,
how do I know you again?
Yeah, and then now it's like, now ask me, like, I don't remember the last time I spoke to them. You know what I mean? Like, I don't remember the last time they hit me up and said, hey, how you doing? After I distance myself from them, you know?
Okay, so, and the thought just came to me. Mm-hmm. Would you say that growth is just a journey to realize what happiness is for you?
No. I feel like growth comes with change. So,
but also, like, change can be good and bad.
No, yeah. But what I'm saying is, like, in order for you to feel content or in order for you to feel happy at some point, you have to make a good change. You have to, like, if you make bad changes, obviously, you're just going to dig yourself more into the hole that you're in. Yeah. But if you start making changes little by little, like for the good, like for your own good, whether it's like you start working out or you just stop hanging out with people who are not good for you, or you stop drinking or whatever it is, like those things are good for you. Those things are changing your life. And now, like, not hanging out with those people, now I started doing something else. I started working overnights. I was able to save money by doing all of those little, you know, and then the smallest change. Yeah, and then now you're stuck with me. But like the smallest change, I feel like everything, like in the past 2 years, I feel like I've grown the most that I've ever had, ever. So, like, and it was as simple as just leaving that life, that lifestyle that I was having, because it was no good for me, dude. Like, it was all about like drinking and doing coke and hanging out with the wrong like people, Coca-Cola. And you know what I mean. And just it was just bad. Coca-Cola. It was, you know, and drinking coke. people mal pensados.
You know the little bear, like polar bear. That's so cute.
So then, I mean, but from that point that you were seeing, as you said, that it was just fun, not happiness, would you say that those choices led you to be more happy?
It led me to feel the shittiest that I've ever felt. And that was like my lowest point in my entire life. So being the lowest that I have, that's what made me get up. And I'll tell you what it was. And you know what it was though? It was the fact that my parents sat me down and they were like I remember my dad telling me, like, I expected this from an 18-year-old Tania and not from 26-year-old Tania. So, you know, so hearing that to me, it was like, oh no, like what the hell am I doing, you know? And it was that, and then I lost my job because of all the stupid stuff that I was doing too. So all of these things, all of these bad things had to happen to me in order for me to make a change. And that change is what made me who I am now. Okay. You know what I mean? Like all those bad things that I pushed away. Now I'm here, because who knows? Now I probably would still be partying and wasting money and and doing whatever, you know. So I don't know, dude. Like, I feel like at this point in my life, like, I'll tell you, like, I'm maybe like 80% happy.
That's good.
You know, the other 20 are things that I still need to change.
So then the growth led you to a happier state.
A happier place, yeah.
But it's a process, you know, it's a process. And I think that's what a lot of people have a hard time dealing with, especially when they see people's profiles on social media. All you ever post is all the good stuff.
Exactly.
Right? You only post when you're happy, when you're having a good time, right? And it's rare when and there are some people who are brave enough to put it out there when they're sad, right?
Well, I live my life on social media, so I put the good and the bad, the happy and the sad.
Yeah, and see, and you know, maybe if we were, that's a good thing, because I feel that opens a dialogue for people, and that makes them feel like, you know what, I'm not the only one who has these feelings. You know, that it's okay to not be okay all the time.
Yeah.
You know, so it's a process, and that's the thing that not a lot of people are talking about. Is that you know, like, I can say, you know, I think I feel maybe 75-85% happy, you know, but it also depends on your surroundings.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, and you know when something isn't working for you. Right? Like, at the beginning, maybe it's because you are chasing a high, but then after a while, there's just something that starts to eat up inside of you, and you start saying, you know what, this isn't working out anymore. Yeah. Like, I'm starting to look for some other kind of high.
Yeah, and then you get to a point where you're like, what the hell am I doing? Yeah. Well,
I have a question for you guys. And I read this, and it kind of got me thinking, and it's sad because my answer is really sad, but when was the last time that you were truly, truly happy? That you were your happiest?
I have a really sad story too.
What about you first? When was the last time you were truly,
I gotta
truly
think
happy?
about this.
Like, your happiest moment.
The happiest?
Yeah, or like, not the happiest moment of your life, but like the last time that you can remember being happy. That you're like, I want to recreate that day.
Ooh. I have a great story, actually.
Wow.
So when I lost my job, when I was going through that, I was talking to a friend, and I was like, you know, I told him, I was like, dude, I just need a sign. Like, I just need a sign that everything's gonna be okay, you know? And it's funny because that day that I was talking to him, I posted something on Facebook, and I was like, it was something along the lines like, if you guys know of a place that's hiring, let me know. Right? And literally, dude, like, after I talked to my friend and told him, like, I just need a sign, Kimberly hits me up. And she's like, hey, this is this and this, you know, whatever. And then I was like, okay. So I applied. And it took about maybe 4 months for her to get back to me, because that's when you guys were doing a change or something. And she reached out to me and everything, told me, like, are you still interested? And I was like, yeah, like, for sure, you know. I feel like at that moment is where I felt my happiest, because I felt like my life was changing. Okay. So I was very happy to see what else was coming my way. You know what I mean? So I feel like that was like, I mean, and besides my wedding and stuff like that. I know I was going to say that. I was like, you can wore that. No, my wedding was a different moment.
You know, don't put that pressure on there.
My wedding was a different kind of happiness.
Yeah. See, and that's what we're saying, right?
Yeah.
Like, there's different levels of happiness.
Yeah. Like, there's different areas in your life where you need to be happy. Like, my love life, I'm extremely happy.
Yeah. Well, you know what, too, though? It's funny because I think that, of course, you would say the day that you got married to your partner, right? But at the same time, think about all the stress that you go through that day. Ugh. Right?
Right. Tell me about it. I was there for
I know una persona que a person that was a part of her wedding was late. I'm not going to name names.
First of all,
this person is sitting right next to me.
First of all, this person was not only part of the wedding, she was also
the photographer / bridesmaid. I don't even know how that happened.
And
yeah, fue the maid of honor. And she's so late.
Pues wow.
I know. Typical Leo. I wanted to make it about myself.
I was like, no, hell no. I was like, Erik, you need to get right here because my girl is not coming. And you know what's funny? The night before, she was like, no, don't worry. I'll be back. I will wake up
happiness, guys.
This is happiness, guys. And she's like, no, I'll be right there. I'll be right there. And then little did she know she was going to oversleep.
Okay, so I want to share my experience of happiness. And I want to see what you guys think. And you guys might not be too familiar with this, just because you guys are just coming into this industry. Okay. You know? So for me...
¿Nos estás diciendo novatas?
So for me, happiness is, you know, unconditional love. And unconditional love as in those people who watch you because they want to watch you. They could be watching anything else during their day. You know, they can be watching, you know, a TV show or a movie, but they choose to watch you. Or, you know, they choose to download your content. Or they choose to support you instead of anything else. They could be doing anything else during their day, but they want to support you. I feel like that is true happiness, when someone loves you because they want to love you, not because they're family or not because they're friends.
Okay. So, like,
and not because it's your significant other who cares for you. But it's like love that it's like a person who doesn't even know you and like cares for you. Like they're worried about you. Like if anything happens to you, like they're like concerned.
Okay.
I feel like that's true happiness. When someone can show you like unconditional love without even knowing who you are.
So my relationship with Eminem.
Oh Lord Jesus.
That's true. No. I mean, it sounds crazy, but like honestly, like. I love that dude, like, to death. Like, not in a, like, yeah, I do think he's attractive, but, like, also, if it was between attraction and me actually having a conversation with the man, I would choose conversation over anything.
Yeah, but like, that's happiness for him, not for you.
Oh, okay, I'm sorry.
That's where I was going.
Take it back. I misunderstood a little bit there. I was speaking in a fan form.
Yeah, like having, you know, those people who support you unconditionally.
Without like you knowing
that is
them.
Happiness.
Okay, so I don't know that because... simply because.
Simply because? I don't know, that at least for me. Okay, so when was the last time you were happy?
I don't recall.
I thought you had a story.
No, I have a story regarding to when you're truly happy.
Oh.
and it's sad.
No, I thought we were discussing when was the last time that you were truly, truly happy.
I mean,
it was sad. Why?
The moment was sad because my sister and I were getting off of work, and this was before my current job. So we're people that go based on like we go based on like trying to fill the void, and it's a joke that we have between us, like, I'm trying to fill the void, and we go shopping or we purchase things that we're like, oh, this is pretty nifty or whatever. So one day we went on that plan, and we were like, nothing here I don't want to buy anything. There's nothing here that attracts my attention. Yeah. There's nothing here that makes me want to feel happy or anything like that. So I was like, whatever, I'm going to go buy a churro at the churro stand. And I bought a churro, and I bought her an ice cream sundae with a churro on it as well. And then there was 2 little kids playing in the water fountain, and they looked so happy. And they were just like oblivious that anybody was watching them or anything like that. And then my little sister says, she's like, when do you recall being that happy? And I instantly started crying. Oh my God. And I was like, I'm sorry, but I don't think I could ever be that happy again. Mm-hmm. And we both broke down and cried. And I was like, you know, like when you're a kid, you're not aware of what the world is. Mm-hmm. And unfortunately, it's logic. Yeah. It's just not me trying to be a Debbie Downer or anything like that, but you don't know what the world out there is.
Exactly.
And some things are just a fact. And those kids were playing and stuff. And I recall my little sister being that happy when she was a child. And I recall myself being that happy when I was a child and stuff. And I was just like... And it made me think, when was the last time that I was that happy? And I was like, whoa. I can't pinpoint an emotion like that. I could be with friends and it's happy, and it's not that I'm trying to like downgrade like the emotion of that, but that genuine pure happiness, it's really hard to obtain.
So my question to that then is, do you think ignorance
is happiness? Absolutely.
Happiness? Yeah.
Absolutely. The more you know.
I think a child's like...
Yeah. I could see that. I can.
I get happiness in knowing. I don't like to not know things.
Yeah, because you're just a weird breed. Okay? You go over there. But like towards a very more like I mean, I do believe that there is a possibility that there will be people that the more they know, the more happier they feel. But like, if you're like empathetic towards certain situations and certain things, that's definitely gonna hit you really hard, you know? Yeah. And like seeing those kids, I was kind of like, I wanted to run up to them and be like, don't grow up ever. It's not fun. And then I would have gone to jail for the wrong reasons.
Did we know you by then?
Yes, you did, actually.
Right.
And then, like, it's so funny because, like, we were there and I started crying. I was just like, oh my God, like, I didn't need to feel things. And she was like, man, you know, like, it puts life in perspective, and it does. Like, you get so caught up in this, like, day-by-day routine and whatever, and you're like, you don't realize that you need to pay attention, that you also have to take care of yourself and what makes you happy, you know? Mm-hmm. And yeah, like, I mean, if I could pinpoint, because it's hard to pin, like, I mean, for me, it's really hard to pinpoint when I was the most happy, like, because you know how they say that every time that you recollect your memories, you're romanticizing them. Mm-hmm. You don't remember them based on what actually happened. Like, I could be here sitting next to Tania and be like, oh my god, we're sharing a Coke. And then, like, 2 months later, I'll be like, she shared a Coke, and she turned to look at me, and she gave me this look of inspiration. And, like, that probably didn't even happen, you know?
I don't, though.
You don't believe that?
I don't. That's not how I recall
that I would share a
things.
Coke with you?
No, I wouldn't recall things.
Well, then never mind. Don't share a Coke with
I'm
me.
not sharing anything.
I'd be like, oh, she's getting a Coke, cool.
We're sharing that tequila, though.
Yeah. This is going to end up like a very drunk podcast, you guys. Just a warning.
This is live.
Just FYI.
Just
And let's see how many minutes Belky lasted without crying.
Hey, yo lloré por esos niños porque no iban a estar felices, okay?
Just kidding.
No, I mean, if I could choose, like, honestly, like, I mean, lately, at this point in time, I've been romanticizing me going back my last trip to El Salvador. Okay. And that's it. Like, it was so simple. You think that's
going to bring you happiness?
For a temporary time, yes.
Okay.
You know? I'm planning to go back towards the end of the year, so I'm excited. It's going to be, like, it's a mixture of feelings, so I can't really say that it will be happiness entirely because my grandpa passed away, so it's not going to be the same. Mm-hmm. But the last visit was... The moments that I remember are fun because my dad took us to this fair and... And I went to the stupid fair. My sister always makes me go to on like the Ferris wheel, and I'm scared of roller coasters. But
did you have an elote loco?
Yes, I think I did.
You know what that is?
What's an elote loco?
It has ketchup, huh?
I don't know. It has like.
First of all, in our countries, it's katsu.
Katsu.
Yes,
Perdón, pero los que hablan español es katsu.
¿Dónde está el ketchup?
La ketchup, por favor.
Next episode, growing up Hispanic, guys.
Oh, no, we are going to do one.
Let me tell you.
Girl, I have experience. I have my stripes. I have my badges. I have my stars. I have my receipts.
Whoa! Synchronized over here.
Go on.
No, the elote loco go.
No, I don't know. I don't know what it has, but I think it had ketchup.
It's like you know the regular elotes that you get from the elotero.
Yeah.
Okay, so it's that, but they add like there's like black sauce, like sweet sauce, and they add ketchup and mustard.
Yeah, I was just like, I'm not feeling this. I really was not feeling it.
No, it's called an elote loco.
It's a hot dog.
Yeah. Oh, I don't know.
Elote dog.
Like you just described the hot dog.
Elote dog. It's a vegan hot dog.
In Mexico.
In El Salvador, those are what's it called?
A delicacy.
Yes.
No, in Mexico, they make tamal con esquite on top of it.
Ooh, that sounds interesting. Esquite is like un elote, pero no.
Oh, is it the thing that you get in downtown?
Yeah.
Oh, that's all I know. Because I've only seen them in downtown.
So they get the tamal, they break it up, they put the esquite on top, they put the mayonnaise, the cheese, and everything, and then you just eat it like that.
That sounds interesting.
See, but what's funny is that I think of happiness like that when I have a really good meal.
Yeah. Oh, yes. Food makes me happy.
Food makes me really
extremely happy.
No, you don't have to. I understand that concept. I understand that it can make you happy. Food doesn't make happy, like certain people happy, but it makes me happy. Okay, so Jazmine and I became best friends Because we became friends because we both worked at a certain theme park that I'm not gonna name because they don't need the promo. They don't. Let's just say they had Shrek at some time and now they don't.
They have Harry Potter now.
Shrek?
They have Harry Potter now.
Yeah.
That's so sad.
Anyway,
wait, what did they replace Shrek with?
I don't know.
Kung Fu Panda.
Oh, okay. There we go.
They have a Kung Fu Panda.
I'm so excited. Hold on, we have
I
to go.
don't even know when was the last time I went there. Like,
can we go?
Can we not give them a program?
Huh?
Sure, why not?
Dude, you know, the last time I went to a theme park, I went to Six Flags, and I was so excited, right? Because I hadn't gone in a while, and I got on Tatsu, and you know how like you go like this, right? Like you're like, so it has that little loop, and in that loop, dude, I felt like everything, like I felt like my whole stomach went through my throat. Like
I know.
Dude, like I got off and I was pale. I was like puking. I was like, we have to go home. Like, dude, and it was like the second ride we got on. And I was like, I'm going home.
Oh, you were that person that ruined the trip.
That friend.
Well, no, here's the thing. I used to love roller coasters when I was a kid. And I just recently went to Six Flags with my cousin about 2 months ago. I went on that ride. I almost called it. And I was like, no.
I think it's
I don't know. What everyone else is into now, I can't do this anymore. I was not prepared to be.
So in other words, I was an old person as a child. Because I was literally the person walking across the freaking, the actual ride, like crossing the seats to exit. I went to Six Flags to wait in line with people for fun.
Something's wrong with you.
And then people would try to boo me, and I'd be like, I don't care. All the peer pressure in the world, I don't care.
If you went
I'll
with me,
see
I would
you at the
drag you
gift shop.
Like,
Thankfully for them, there was no bar, and I was not legal to drink. Because I'd be like, I'll be at the bar.
I would drag you. I would carry her.
You can try, but I feel she would fight you.
I'm fine with that. I'll date her.
She's Salvadorian.
I'll date her.
No, everybody would literally come up to me and be like, "No, we're gonna make you get on this."
She wouldn't hurt me.
Nah,
I dare you.
No, I mean we didn't get to like physical altercations. I would just be like, "Hi, name's Belky, going across. I'm going to the exit. I'm not riding this ride.
I would
Bye." I'd be like, rape. Hi. Call your security. Thank you.
She carries a whistle, guys. That big whistle.
I will carry sedatives with me, like those like mountain lion sedatives.
I would bring my most. I would pull out my most ethnic persona, and they would definitely not want you there.
She's gonna be like, chambea, she's gonna become Bad Bunny a little bit.
Bad Bunny.
Yes, this is a
and then they're gonna be like, "Hi, we want free tickets."
Welcome back, Belky. Oh my god. Back to happiness.
But anyways, we digress. Happiness is digression for me. Anytime that anyone like does like a side conversation and we're like, oh my god, this was not the topic. And then we...
First of all, that's our life.
Well, yeah.
All the time, dude.
Mm-hmm.
All day.
You see, for me, happiness, my last happy moment, I can pinpoint it down to a T, was in November of last year.
Okay.
Did I know you in November last year?
Yes, you did.
I'm
just
kidding.
Why are you whispering?
It's the first time you hung out with us.
No, actually, for the first time I talked to you guys was like...
What was the first time? What was the first time we went out, guys? Like, when was the
January.
first time?
You guys went for
we went out
brunch.
Where did we go? Oh, to brunch.
Yeah.
Yes,
that's
true. Hey, happiness is brunch, guys.
And then, no, wait, hold on. So we had brunch.
See, that's what I'm saying.
Happiness is brunch.
And then we had brunch again.
Like making this whole subject is a subject complicated and shit.
Coming out of her.
I'm sorry.
She's mad.
I'm mad. Making this whole subject complicated when in reality, I mean, come on.
In reality, it is complicated.
No, it's not. It's simple.
Happiness can mean a lot of things.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's a lot of things.
We didn't go out until like January though.
all of us together. Yeah, for your birthday. For my birthday. Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, for our birthday. Yeah, that's true.
That is not a promo.
You know that day. Even though I was having fun that day, at the end of the night, I was like, all I want to do is go home to my boo.
I know.
I was like,
yes. We were looking for her.
She looked at me. She was like, I'm sorry, man. I want to go see Marvin. I'm like,
she was so sad.
Hey, man, you do you, man.
Shout out to
Marvin.
Listen, we were there. Daniela and I were gonna like get her home. And she disappears. She gets herself an Uber.
She gets
herself an Uber.
No, hold on.
Listen,
no.
You got yourself an Uber. Yeah. And you're like, I need Marvin.
No, hold on. You don't even know what happened. So, pause. Dramatic pause. No. So me and Rocio were like, let's go to the bathroom. So I'm like, yeah, let's go. And we go inside, we do our thing. And dude, I completely forgot that I took her to the bathroom and I left.
You're such a jerk.
I left her in the restroom. I don't even remember. All I remember was like, where are these guys? Like, I'm waiting. I don't want to wait. So I left and I took an Uber.
No, because you came up to me and then you were like, I'm sorry. I have to go. And I was like, oh man, you go. Like, I'm not holding you back.
See, I don't
and you were like, yes, I'm so sorry. She said I want to be with Marvin. And blah, 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 blah. And I was like,
hey, I'm a needy person.
No one's stopping you from being... First of all, you're not kidnapped. I don't know why you're asking me for permission. Thanks for letting me know. Now I know that you're going home. And she was like, I'm calling an Uber. I'm leaving. Bye. And I was like...
This is why she fell that night, because she's so... You see?
First of all, she did a lot of things.
I did not do a lot of things, okay? Because she knows when I do a lot of things. Okay.
But I know when you do a lot of things.
But you did some things.
Wait, what? After brunch?
Okay, that was not even related to what I do with her.
And I gotta keep it PG, guys, because that story cannot get out.
I have a reputation,
but it's a great story. I'm a YouTuber. Yeah, guys, we're on YouTube, by the way.
Check us out.
Check us out.
After Dark Productions.
Yes. We try to do the Shameless Productions, but obviously
somebody else had it.
It was a porn site.
Was it really?
Yeah, no, it wasn't a porn site.
Oh no!
It was I'm not gonna give them the promo, but it was something else.
It was something in correlation to sex.
It wasn't in correlation to sex, though.
No.
It was in correlation to the woman's anatomy.
Okay.
Oh.
I don't want to give them the promo.
I know it's fun. It's fine, and I know this has nothing to do with this subject, but I feel like it needs to be said, because when he said the website's being used, and I was like, please tell me what is it before I tell you what I think it is. And then he told me what it was, and I was like, I knew it was around those lines. Okay.
Someone asked me today, like, why do we name the show Perfectly Shameless?
Who asked you?
I'm not gonna say names.
Why not?
We're live.
We're live.
And
we don't need.
They don't need that.
They don't need that.
Are they that unimportant in our lives?
No. They're very important. But
so then, who was it?
It was Vanessa.
Oh, okay. You
shout
couldn't say that?
Shout out to my gangsta friend.
So what'd you tell her?
Honestly, I was just like, because to be honest with you, like every time we're together, like we just don't care. Like we just talk about whatever comes to mind, and like Belky said, like we go from topic to topic, and it's
crazy how we became friends.
And there's no shame.
Yeah, like the first time me and Belky hung out, we went out and we got drunk. And then somehow I was like, no, Belky, you're not going home. You're going to my house.
I know. And I wasn't even that drunk. And I was just like, okay whatever. I mean, because she sounded serious. And I was just like, I'm not ready to upset this person that is shorter than I am. And then, you know what they say about short people? They're closer to hell.
Oh,
they're demons.
I mean, she just told you how she feels about you.
Hey, no, it's okay.
It's
I'm on the same level.
It's in a good way.
There's another demonio.
The second part of this was growth, right?
Change and growth.
Change and growth. So what is
that?
Happiness
and growth.
What is that?
To me, change is
happiness.
Changing your life to where you're happy.
Yeah.
And to what... Sometimes you have negative people in your life. Sometimes you have disgusting...
habits
and people that just are not good for you at the end of the day.
Oh yeah.
And at least for me, I have to distance myself from some people because of the things that they were doing in my life.
How were you able to identify those actions or people?
I knew it. Like, I knew it from a long time ago. What? This isn't math class. Pick me, teacher.
People keep raising our hands.
No, so I was able to determine it because negative people were being very disgusting on social media with me. And
this is people you
people that I knew.
Oh.
But hold on, but here's the fun part. They used fake accounts to comment nasty things.
So then you realized that it was them.
And the reason that I found out who it was when like my little smart cookie kind of like started working was because this person would see my Instagram stories and this other account would comment on it.
Oh, so you kind of correlate the two.
So it's like how is like the other account commenting on something that was only on the story?
Hey, I don't think I'm ready for the hate guy. I'm not ready yet.
Like,
I'm not there yet.
So it's like
criticism,
It's gonna come.
Yeah.
I mean, all I have to say is that with a lot of my personal growth, I've always been the black sheep. And I wear that shit proudly. I apologize. I wasn't supposed to curse. I wear it proudly because
you could say PC.
I was the and I wear that certification proudly because it takes a lot in someone to question things. I understand why in my family, my older sister did not question certain things or whatever. Like, you have this pressure. Everybody has their own story, and it doesn't take it away from them to, like, work the way they are. I'm the middle child. So it's either been, before my little sister was born, it was just me, and when my little sister was born, it was just like, I don't know, between like not noticing me and judging me. So it was a weird mixture of the two. And I've learned through those experiences that, you have to decide what traits of yours are important to keep and what are not. I've learned to like come midway with my parents, where I understand where they're coming from and why they say the things they do, but I also learned to accept the person that I am. And then so like as far as like people not liking me, who's the bigger hater in this club? It would be me. So I don't care.
It will be that, but okay.
It would be me. So like, I am my biggest hater because I am the one that's in my head. I am the one who always brings the most negative parts about me. I am the person that knows most about me. And if I have lived about between 8 to 9 years from me defeating that demon, trust me, like,
it's hard.
It will. You could say what you want to say. You could say the negative things that you want to say. It will get to me for like an hour or two, and then
you move on.
Pa fuera, bye.
Yeah.
Because like.
There's nothing that someone can say about you that you haven't already said about yourself, right?
Exactly. And then it's like, it almost like sounds conceited, because if I'm going to do things in life and I'm going to do them good, or I'm going to attempt to give it my 100%, hating on my own self would be the 100% way to do it, So like, compete with my own haterisms. That's all I have to say. There's no hateration in this hot. what does she say? Hot hateration. In the dancery. There's no hateration in this dancery.
I don't know. Going back to the whole how do you know if these people are negative in your life?
You can tell.
Yeah, they rob you of your peace.
Yeah, when you feel so uneasy around a person, you just feel they're just being sketchy. There's just something about it that's not. And usually, I don't know if it's this women intuition or whatever, but honestly, sometimes I have this thing where I have this feeling about a person, and somehow I'm always right. Somehow.
What was your feeling about me?
Is it Hispanic intuition?
I'm still undecided. No, just kidding. Under new management. Next episode's sorry guys, Tania couldn't make it.
Creative differences.
I go on YouTube to explain everything.
It's I decided
to all her pictures go down.
So let me tell you what happened.
All her pictures and
you become your own brand and you become famous. So thank you, Erik.
And there you go. Mm-hmm.
Lady Gaga, paparazzi,
made you famous.
Tania and Friends.
I made it.
The new show, Tania and Friends.
The Kanye West song comes out.
We are not giving promo.
Oh yeah, no, not to him.
God,
but
no.
yeah, no, because I don't know, dude. I had this friend who not a friend, but I had this girl that I used to hang out with. Yeah, that I used to hang out with, and I was she could potentially be someone pretty cool in my life or whatever. Yeah. And then all of a sudden, it went from from feeling that to feeling really sketchy about her. Mm-hmm. And I was there's something going on. There's something going on. And then it turns out that she was talking to the guy that I was whatever. So, but
wait, is that the one?
Yeah, the one that I told you about. Yeah. So this person,
oh,
I thought, in my head, I was no, we're cool, we're friends, for sure.
Damn.
And then from feeling yeah, we're friends to feeling you're doing something wrong. I know you're doing something wrong, but I'm still giving you the benefit of the doubt, because even though I confronted her about it, it was always deny. So I was okay, So I didn't really have that proof or whatever. But then when it actually turned out to be right, I was there was a reason why I felt so uneasy about you. Mm-hmm. And once that happened, I felt this whole I felt this relief in my life that I was I no longer feel that when you get a bad feeling all the time, you just carry that in in the pit of your stomach. That's how I was with
That's
her.
how I feel about you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Tania.
Thank you. So next episode,
creative differences. Tania and Friends.
Tania and Belky. You're listening to Tania, Belky, and Jazmine.
Damn.
Hashtag damn.
I don't chase them. I replace them.
Ouch.
It's a tequila, guys. It's a tequila.
Y'all, Tania ain't coming back. Bye.
Okay. Yeah, you could start. I feel it. Yeah, dude. Honestly, yeah, I'm kind of going through memories of things that have happened to me, and I made the wrong call with certain people. Where I'm always. This is me. I'm always gonna give people the benefit of the doubt.
Yeah.
That's nice of you.
I test people.
Oh yeah.
And this is something that I've told everyone that has crossed the border of my trustworthiness. I'm I'm gonna test you. I'm gonna give you a bit.
Yeah. Bro, I feel you on that,
bro. Don't even question this.
I want to. No, I want to know.
Okay. I am gonna share the
the
personal stuff where I'm okay, it's personal, but if it goes out, I don't care. And then if I don't hear a peep, if I don't hear anything, if I don't hear any noise, then I'm okay, let's try it. Level 2. You made it. Thank you. Welcome. You made it to the second round. in America's Next Top Model.
Oh, God, Jesus Christ.
So yeah, I mean, unfortunately,
you didn't answer my question though.
Like, where are you? I mean, I think I've shared very personal stuff that you have not said. I had a crush on someone at work, and it didn't lead to anywhere until I made
First of all, that got known because of you.
Yeah, no, that's what I was saying. Until I wanted to share these informations with other people because I was trying to be nice, but whatever. Anyway, so here we are, and we learned our lesson.
Though.
That's not... I know, it wasn't even that big of a deal.
I knew for 2 months, and like you told someone, and it was like wildfire.
I know. Eso es lo que me pasa por andar de imbécil.
Por andar de bocona.
Exactly.
I think most of the time, like, people know my stuff. It's more because of me than anybody else. But I shouldn't trust myself. That's the point of the story.
You know, whenever I share anything with someone at work, I always have it in the back of my head. I have to be willing to accept that this is going to spread. Yeah. How comfortable am I? The next day that people will know what I said to someone. So I always feel that, you know, it's kind of unfair if you get upset with someone because it's work.
Yeah.
Work. What else are you gonna do at work?
Yeah.
Work goes. Especially
since if like, even if it's not you, but if someone came over to you like, hey, you want to hear what so and so said, you know, about so and so? What are you gonna say? No, please don't tell me.
No, but you have to think about this too.
Tell me in the cheeseman, like, yes.
No, but you have to think about this too. It's like that's like your second home. You're there for 40 hours a week, so it's like you're bound to like. You have to trust people there.
Exactly. Especially the people that you work closer with. You know, you get to learn, like, how they are and everything. And you know, yeah, exactly. Like, honestly, this is, like, for me, for example, like, I used to be so willing to trust people so quick because I was like, yeah, you know, like, whatever. Now, I'm more like I sit back and I kind of observe before I approach or before I open my mouth because I'm like... I don't know you like that yet, you know?
Yeah.
So, like, my way, like, let's say, like, I have people, like, at work that I, obviously, like, my best friend works there. Yeah. So, you know, her I don't have a problem talking to because I know she's not going to go and talk and say my business to people. But, like, there are certain people that I'm like, no. And the reason why is because I've heard them. Like, say things about other people that told them something personal.
At work that are, like...
You know, so then I'm like, okay, so now I know with you, I know not to talk to you about like that, you know. So I already know.
It kind of sounds scummy, but it is.
It is what it is.
It is growth because you have to realize that you can't go into a place thinking in a very naive way. I mean, where you're like, oh, this person smiles at me and says that I'm cool. Like, oh, they're obviously my friend. No, friendship, loyalty, all that stuff is earned. It is not an instantaneous thing. I think,
especially with me, it's earned.
Yeah. I mean, yes. With this guy, it is earned. Like, I was an acquaintance for, like, God knows how many months. And he's like, oh, you're my acquaintance. And then...
some type of way at first, though.
No, I didn't.
Yes, you did.
Remember how you were like, "Oh, you're my acquaintance," and then, well, actually, for like a week. And stuff.
You were like,
and then I realized that you did that to everyone. So I was like, "Oh, whatever." And then you were like, "Oh," and then I was like, "We're friends, right?" And you're like, "No, you're my acquaintance." So I'm like, honestly. Had this been anybody else, I'd be offended. But it's you. So I'm actually honored that you considered me past coworker. So, I mean...
I have a little bubble of friends, that's why.
Yeah. And I mean, for me, I try to make friends with as many people as possible. You know, there's levels of friends, though, I believe. And you learn to...
Like the levels of hell?
I mean, acquaintances and whatever and whatnot. Like, there's certain people where you know you vibe with. Like, her and I, Jazmine and I, we became friends. We were working at this theme park, going back to the story.
Is that where you met?
Yeah. Yeah. Mm-hmm. So, I don't even know how the conversation came up. But... she was going through a breakup. I was going through my breakup, and I was just like, and I was like, whatever. We were working at this location that like had they had like hot dogs or whatever.
How do you feel about hot dogs?
I mean, I don't eat meat, so.
Are we talking about Dodger dogs, or are we talking about...
It was a Dodger
dog.
It was a Dodger.
It was like 7-Eleven dogs.
So. Hot dogs in general are disgusting because all the that they put in there.
All that
but you know what? A lot of Hispanic food is like... Have you ever had menudo?
I love menudo.
Oh, yeah.
One of the few things that I miss in life.
Ew.
Well, see, yeah, like, I know tongue and tripe and lengua and brain. I know, yeah. So hot dog to me, I'm like, yeah, sure, whatever. It's all of it is just in a way.
Back to what I was saying.
So, you know, like, she was going through a rough thing, and I don't really genuinely know how, like, she opened up to me about like really personal stuff to the point where I was just like, let me tell her my story so she can feel better, because mine's worse. And like, you know, like, mine's worse, and if my story's gonna serve a purpose, at least let it be to make someone feel better, you know? Okay. And I was like, I remember I was like pouring a freaking Slurpee thing, or not Slurpee, because we're not in 7-Eleven. I was pouring an icy, and I was like, you want to hear something worse? And then I tell her my story, and I was like, you know, this happened with this dude. This dude got her pregnant. Homegirl shows up to my house, whatever. Tells my mom it's her husband or whatever, and all this telenovela drama. And she was like, oh, whatever. And I was like, it's all good. You know, it's happened. I mean, I'm not going to say that it doesn't hurt, because it does. But trust me, we're both on the same boat. We ended up talking further and further, whatever. Then she has to go on break, and she goes on break, and she's like, "Hey, do you want me to bring you something?" And I was like, "Yeah, bring me a cookie." And then she goes on break, and I was like, "She's not gonna bring me a cookie. You know, she's gonna forget." I mean, most people do, honestly. So it was not like a very like negative thought. I was just like, whatever. I wasn't hung up on the fact that she was gonna bring me a cookie. So she comes back from her break. She's like, "Oh, I got you a cookie," and I was like, "Oh, she brought me a cookie," you know. And like, honestly, like at that moment in time, I was just like, oh my god, you know, like. We as people are sometimes so hung up with our own personal stuff that we forget to look out for other people. Mm-hmm. And sometimes within that action, it does bring happiness. And I was like, oh my god, she brought me a cookie. You know, and I always bring it up. I'm like, every time we become like our Facebook, I'm like, it all started with a cookie.
That's
you
a
know?
good friendship.
Yeah, and like the first time we hung out, we were at Barnes and Noble. We talked about life. We cried at Barnes and Noble.
We cried. We ugly cried too. It was like, nah.
You know, but leading back to last week's topic, it doesn't. You gotta take in the good from the bad.
Yes.
You know, like. And it goes back to where I was like, you know, I know that at some point in the episode last week I said, had I kept that relationship, I would have not gained so many experiences. That is what I meant. Mm-hmm. You know, yeah. I wouldn't have met Milo. I wouldn't have hung out with you. I would have never been at that Barnes and Noble crying. Aww. And I mean, it's sad, you know. You like in the sense, but like if I look at it from an outsider's point of view, I gained so much more from that breakup than being in that relationship.
Oh, Belky, I love you too.
Well, stop it. Wait, where is Jennifer? But where is my phone?
I get, I get that. Okay, so one of the things that I do remember, and it isn't having anything to do with it.
Damn.
No, that's way I'm Hold on. We need a button that says, can we mute?
Under new management.
No, but because she said, about gaining so much from
a negative experience.
A negative experience, right? So I remember when this guy that I was dating, and when he broke up with me, it was at the parking lot of where we were working.
Oh.
What?
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh no.
That place sucks.
So I remember walking out of the car and crying. And I was like crying because I was so upset. I was so mad at him, and I was so confused about why all this was happening. And so I had found a corner, and I like balled into I put myself in a little ball, and I was crying. And then these two girls, complete strangers, walked over, and they asked me if I was okay. And I said, like, you seem like you're in distress. Like, what's wrong? And no, it's fine. I'm like, no, are you sure? And that to me, like, almost like at that moment, I'm like, oh, okay, you know what? I need to put myself together. And also, but it almost made me feel good that I'm like, okay, you know what? I'm gonna be okay.
Yeah.
I need to find people who I know will
help me
out through this. I need to move, right? Mm-hmm. And that's what happened. Like, within like weeks, I started reconnecting with people from high school who I hadn't spoken to in years, who were contacting me like, I heard about your breakup, are you okay? I'll come over. And they did. They came over, they would buy me food, and we would just talk about just what was going on with their lives and my life.
But see, that's how you know that these are people that you want to keep in your life.
Yeah.
Because they were there through your rough.
Yeah, but it was also a reminder to me about how you get so involved sometimes in a relationship or with someone that you kind of like isolate yourself from people, right? Mm-hmm. And so losing him for a moment, I thought, I have no one.
Yeah.
I pushed everyone away. No one's going to give a crap about me because I was such a bad friend to everyone. And then to see all these people just all of a sudden show up and tell me, you're going to be okay.
Yeah.
We're here for you. That helped me.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And that helped me grow as a person too, right? Like, it finally hit me. I was like, I can't do this again.
Yeah.
I can't afford to lose these people ever again. I can't do that.
Yeah. Honestly, like, when I feel like when you find people that stick with you no matter what, like whether you're having a rough patch or you're like going through like the best time of your life, if those people are there no matter what, those are the people that you want to continue to have a relationship with,
Well, that's how me and you got close.
Exactly.
You were going through your breakup.
Exactly.
And I had just lost this person that I was talking to.
Yeah,
it was never anything like, it was never a relationship, but it was like...
You know what the crazy part is, though? That when I first, like, met you, I was like... Because, like, the way...
It's like...
The way you come... No, but the way, like... The way he comes across sometimes, it's a little, like, I don't care.
I know.
Don't tell me don't tell me your life because I really don't care. You know what I mean? Yeah, and that's how he comes across. So you kind of taken back by it because you're like, oh shit, like I'm so sorry, but like it's like you're like, oh, like I'm not used to that. You know what I mean? Yeah. But then like little by little, somehow, like I guess the more we work together, the more we realize like, oh, like, okay, you're pretty cool, and then that's how we started, like, getting along and talking more and more and more. Mm-hmm. Like, to the point where now he calls me a friend. When before that was
First of all, I called you a friend. I called you a friend
faster
a lot sooner than I did her.
Than me. Yeah.
Yeah, so you know, but I mean,
it's true.
You know, but it's one of those things that you're just like, all right, when you click with someone, you click with someone, and it is what it is. And especially if I'm the type of person that like I base my friendships on vibes sometimes. Mm-hmm. Like if I get a good vibe from you, that's it. Like we're cool for sure. But
that's how we became friends.
Yeah, you know,
we became friends.
But if there's something that I just can't like. That like the smallest thing, like, and sometimes I don't even know what it is, but it's just like
something's there.
Yeah, there's something that I just can't click with you about.
Yeah,
I'm just like, all right, like, yeah, we can be cool. That's fine. I can be obviously, you know, but that doesn't mean we're friends.
Yeah,
that doesn't mean that doesn't mean that I'm gonna sit here and have a full on conversation with you, because at the end of the day, I have. Like, I really don't.
You see, with me, I could have a full conversation with you, but it'll be me listening to you.
Yeah.
And then I'll be like, okay, bye.
I
don't care for you as a friend. I will not open up to you.
I think for me...
I really won't. I'll be like, okay,
yeah. I respect that.
Yeah. And it's totally understandable. Like, when... I think why you and I, Erik and I, because... people are listening, they can't see us.
I know, right?
Which one?
Erik and I, it took so long for us to be, like, for you to even call me a friend or whatever. Like, I don't like to shove my way into people's lives because I don't like people
Tania,
shoving.
You shoved yourself in.
I mean, but it works, so take it.
I did not, though.
So take it. Like, you know, like there's certain people that can get away with that. I don't think that I have the capacity of doing that because I am a more detailed person.
So in other words, Tania's needy.
No.
That's Marvin.
Some people just. They just have that thing. It's unexplainable. You just kind of just like them because
was it my charm?
It was the same thing. Oh my God! Stop
it.
It was heartbreak that.
But yes,
I was about to say, like, shout out to like the heartbreak, right?
Yeah, it's like you know what I think about though. It's like, okay, if I wouldn't have gone through
this episode, should have just been named
about friendships. Yeah, no, but like we're still in the process of like changing and being happy.
Growth and happiness.
Yeah. Let's just say that for the sake of this episode. But I feel like, okay, like if, like, for example, if I didn't lose my job then, I would have never started working where I started working, and I would have never met you guys.
Yeah.
And therefore we wouldn't have been here.
It would have been such a
no
time.
Oh.
Just like,
I'm over here. No, but seriously, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, I is bien way.
No, you know what the funny part though, Jazmine? The funny part is that when I first met Belky the first time, because I would hear people talk about, oh, Belky here, Belky there. I was like, who is this Belky? Like, who is this person?
I remember when I first met you.
No, it was at work though, for sure.
I know, yeah.
We met at work, and it was I think it was like maybe my third week working there.
Damn, it took that long to meet her?
Yeah, because she worked overnight, and I worked the morning shift, so I didn't see her at all. But then when they started like putting me later and later and later, I was like, okay. And then I started working with her. And the first time that I've ever met her, I messed up really bad. And I was like, oh my God. And she was so mad. She was like, don't you guys know that I didn't? And I was like, dude, I'm so sorry. Like, I didn't know. I'm so sorry. And she's like, it's fine. But she was like so upset. Like, she wouldn't even look at me. She was like, It's fine. I got it. Like, she was just so upset. Like, so I was like, okay, you know, so I was like, that's it. Ya empezamos mal. Ya empezamos mal. No, yeah. So I was like, no, but I was like, no, you know, I messed up too. So I understand, like, whatever. And she fixed it, whatever it was. And then the second time I worked with her, I did another mess up.
Good job.
And then she's like, oh my God. So right there and then I was like, she hates me. Like, I mess up. And then I don't know how, like, we started talking about something, and I was like, well, dude, we should go to, like, Pasadena or whatever. And then somehow we ended up at Ixtapa, and...
Well, yeah, I mean, like, I don't... Because for me to go out with someone outside of work, it takes a lot A lot.
Tell me.
A fucking lot.
Mm-hmm.
You know? Oh,
are you crying?
No, because I cursed. No. Hey, no enfrente de mi mejor amiguito. ¿Qué te pasa?
Oh, I'm sorry.
No, like it takes.
I'm not here to take your place.
It's
Jennifer, do not. I love you.
You're my friend. It takes a lot, so I'm like trying to like backtrack, like what led to that point, because I know that we work like maybe I just look, maybe from an outsider's point of view, I look like I'm being a total capital.
No, you know what I think it was.
Bitch.
You want to know? You know what I think it was? Maybe it's not, but what I think is the fact that when we started working together, like more and more, it was me who, like, if you would ask for something, I'd be like, yeah, I got it, don't worry. Like, and it wasn't because, like, she was my boss,
because,
but it was, like,
my first impression of you, I was like, oh, yeah, she's cool, you know? Like, it was like, like, everyone, I think I was more upset at the fact that no one taught you how to do things the right way because you were new.
Hey, excuse me. I taught her from the start.
Yeah, he was.
So then I don't know what happened because I don't even remember these moments.
So that
obviously that doesn't mean any.
I trained her.
Maybe we never.
Maybe
I did a damn good job.
Maybe you missed a step.
Yeah, maybe you missed a step.
Hey, Belky said that, not me.
I don't know. Look, whatever it was, I do remember someone saying, like, oh, what do you think of her? And I was like, oh, right, I actually like her.
Who said that?
I genuinely don't remember who. Because I don't even remember who, like...
Kimberly asked me what I thought about Tania.
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm. Even though she didn't work there anymore.
You know what's crazy, though? Kim and I, like, we knew each other in high school. And we were cool because I had choir and she was in music class. Yeah. So that's how we met because our friends were friends. So we were like, oh yeah, for sure. But we crossed paths a few times and we talked and we were cool. But we were never like, we were never friends.
That's crazy.
Yeah. So the fact that she reached out to me to tell me, hey, like there's this opportunity, I was like, okay, there's a reason why. There is a reason why. And now we're here, but. It's
crazy.
Yeah.
It's crazy how we all met because of Kimberly. Hey, Kimberly.
She knows Kim too.
What?
How do you know Kimberly?
You know Kim. Kimmy? Yeah.
Ooh.
No.
Kimmy. I don't know how to say her like maiden name.
First of all, Kimberly is like.
Oh, Kimmy. Yes.
How do you know Kimmy?
I thought you meant.
We both worked at. We all three worked at. No, not Brito. No, not her.
Okay.
I don't know, to me, Kimberly is like our,
my first conversation with her was with
our mother.
With our
she brought us together.
With our
like spirit guide.
Another mutual friend that worked at the same location that we worked at. Because they don't need the promo.
No, they don't. No one needs a promo except for like Jennifer, Marvin, Kimmy. Jazmine.
We gave it to Lorena last time.
I told you she looks like Moana, right? Because she does.
Moana's
and so then,
my bad, Moana's Moana.
So then we were.
I posted her on my Instagram, guys.
Go check her out.
Check her out.
Insta.
The IG.
No en el Face, pero en el Insta. So my first conversation with her was like pretty much like with our other mutual friend. It was Swallows.
Oh,
and he was like,
no problem.
We have no problem for him because he's a weenie. He was like, if you had to choose a superpower, what would you choose? And I was like, they all said their answers. I don't remember what their answers were. And they looked at me and they were like, what would you choose? And I was like, time travel. They're like, why? Because I'm always late to work and I need to be on time.
Oh, tell me about it. Apparently I'm late to work and I call out a lot.
Simply like that.
Who would dare to say that?
It was Tania.
It was me. I put the finger. Remember, I talk. Do you guys know this?
Yes, I heard it through the grapevine.
Oh my god.
That you're a little snitch.
You know what I hate when we're completely off topic now. I don't understand.
But
you know what? It is what it is. It's perfectly shameless. This is why we show because
we shamelessly go on topic. And that's how we wrap it around the subject.
And this is the second episode, guys. So.
And this is why we will never be famous.
This is why we're gonna be on YouTube.
Anyways, continue your story.
Podcasters want to stick to the subject, but
should
they
we
never
go on
do.
Craigslist and
What are you trying to request here? Okay, you know my story.
Oh my god! You want to know the story?
Get Tania.
No.
Get your girl. Get your girl.
Stop it.
That is growth. When you could genuinely be in a room in front of your friends and say, "Get your girl."
Get your girl. No, honestly, one of the things that I've always I have a past experience with one of my friends in high school that she was you consider a popular girl, and she used to hang out with these other two girls. Yeah, these other two girls, and one day,
so what you're saying is you were popular in high school?
No, I wasn't, but my friend was.
Oh, second one.
And
I think you were popular.
No.
I think you were one of those mean girls.
I was not a mean girl.
Like the one that fell in the trash can.
Guys, everyone that went to high school with, if you're listening, please comment in the page so that they believe
comment hashtag Tania's conceited.
Me.
She's like Lindsay Lohan. She fell in the trash as she was walking.
Excuse me.
Hey,
I know that's too far.
Too far.
I don't know who said something about you at work the other day. I'm like, a mi amiguis, no le hablas así. It was funny.
Who's talking shit about me?
It wasn't.
Ya lo deprimiste.
I think it was. No, I'm just kidding.
Let me text her right now.
I need receipts. And I was like, a mi amiguis, no le hablas así.
Dude, low key, that's how I am too. When this whole thing at work happened.
We're just gonna throw shit about work.
This is where everything happens.
Oh, tequila for you guys. I'm taking the tequila.
Okay, this is what happens when you have a few drinks at work.
Okay,
No.
Anyways,
let's go back to the topic, guys. So,
hey, hold on.
No, we're a mess. We're a mess today. I think we're more of a mess today than in the first episode.
I like to say that I contributed.
You did.
High five.
Okay, so if you don't want to talk about that, I'll say one thing that I've learned from work about personal growth. So I have a really bad temper, and I used to be the kind of person who would let things get to me, right? And I used to be in a role at work where I was a...
Yeah, this correlates to you. You're a very angry person.
Yeah.
Where I was...
Y'all had us the other day.
I know she has a bad temper.
Yeah, we were in a phone room, minding our own business. She goes in there and she yells at us. She's like, "Can someone get the phone?"
I used to yell at people. I used to cuss at people.
And then she storms out of the room, and then we're like, "Belky, come back here." And she's like, "No, I'm angry."
She's like, "I'm mad right now."
Tania has to go out there and get her.
No.
Well, you're saying that my point of view. Different story.
Go on. Finish your story, Jazmine. Our guest.
So when I got the big promotion, it wasn't a big promotion, but your kid.
But you think it is?
Yeah, because it's your first time in a lead role, right? And so I was in a position where all the people who were in that position had just been demoted, and so no one wanted to really train me.
Oh.
So yeah, and so one of the tips that they had given me was you have to be a bitch in order to people to listen to you. And so I took that to heart, and I was such an awful person. I was really mean.
I wasn't even there.
Was your boss? No, but I I was mean, and it wasn't even like I like to think of that I wasn't cruel, but I was also one of those people that if you did something, I wasn't going to let you get away with it. I would tell you. But there's also something that I didn't know about tactic. And so I remember one of my managers, she pulled me to the side, and she had been one of those people who was trying to help me. And she told me, you're a really great lead. You're a great worker. I have no trouble with how you work and your work ethic. However, no one wants to work with you.
Ouch.
Damn.
Yeah. She said, there's no point... she said, there's no point of being a good leader if no one wants to follow you.
Y'all don't work with me anyway.
And so...
There's a reason.
And so she told me, you don't have to be best friends with these people. Because it's... What happened? I don't know.
She was looking at me, and I'm like, y'all don't work with me anyways.
Dang.
Anyways, go
ahead. Jazmine, preach. Go.
Well, but it was...
Okay. Go ahead, girl.
But it was one of those things that I took to heart, and I had to learn to really, take a step back and really know what I'm saying to someone. Instead of reacting to something, take a step back and understand why they're getting that reaction from me.
Yeah.
And then try to understand, maybe is it something that I did that they're not understanding? Maybe it's something that I did that they're
misinterpreted.
That they misinterpreted, and maybe I need to be a better person and better lead, right? And that's something that doesn't have to necessarily just have to deal with work. That's with any kind of relationship, right? I mean, one of the biggest problems that people have in relationships is communication, right? And so you can get upset with someone, you can yell at someone, but you're not actually telling them why you're upset about, right?
Yeah.
And so that's one thing that I learned, is to take a step back and understand what that reaction, why you're getting upset.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes. I think for me, I've learned to understand that when I am upset, when I'm genuinely just off the roof, I will curse your mother. Upset.
Why my mom?
I look at everyone and I try to get as far away of the situation as much as I can.
Yeah.
I walk outside, I take a breather, I take 10 minutes where I'm just and there's certain situations where people have stopped me and they're like, I need to talk to you, I am upset. And I'm like, I understand you're upset, but you need to understand that so am I. And I always I've learned to be vocal about what I'm thinking, because no one's going to know what I'm thinking. That's basically, it goes down to the T. Everything that you need to do, you need to express what you feel.
Oh, yeah.
You don't need to act on your emotions. Yeah. You need to explain your emotions. And I tell people, I am upset. I don't want to release my anger on you and say something that I don't mean. So if you can you please give me a minute so I could go defuse the bomb that is growing in me, because I don't want to tell you something that I don't genuinely mean, because I could be so mean.
I want to have that moment with
but here's the thing though. Okay, say that you're really that upset, right? And you're thinking all of this stuff.
Yeah.
Do you really not mean it?
I don't mean it, because I'm just being angry at the whole situation. I've genuinely called my sister the C word. I don't think my sister's the C word.
There's many C words.
I felt...
No, we can't say it on air.
See you next Tuesday, C word. Okay, anyone that knows anything will understand. Ari Gold.
We
can write it down right here on the piece of paper.
Just spell it out, the first letters of every word there.
Yes.
I don't know if that's back.
That can't be see you next Tuesday though, because see you is like with an S.
See you as in
and then
just you, and next Tuesday.
Oh,
whatever.
Lord Jesus Christ.
It's the thing, okay?
See you next Tuesday.
People understand. If you've seen Entourage.
No,
Yeah, if you've seen Entourage, you'll know. Just listen to Ari Gold. He says it every day.
He is sexy, first of all. I'm so sorry.
Hashtag daddy.
Hashtag Mr. Gold. No, Marvin and I used to watch the show all the time.
Because he made the word totally normal for me. Because he tells so many people that, no, not Lloyd. But yeah, it's a boss.
Oh my god, your hair's red.
Yeah.
Anyway, so so yeah, that's something that with like age you need to learn how to do. People think, if I express my emotions, it's gonna get me in trouble. It's not gonna get you in trouble. It's how you express your emotions
it gets me in trouble.
Of course it does, because you're crazy.
With me?
Damn.
And I'm like such a nice person.
Yeah.
Excuse me? You have your days.
You have your days. Sometimes you're really mean. You really don't care, and your filter is like non-existent. And obviously, I don't care because I have self-deprecation.
When have I ever had a filter?
Never. But you're nice to some people. I mean, because
if I'm nice to you, it's because I don't know you.
Exactly. There you
go. You know what though? When I started working overnight, remember when I started working overnight and they let me with all like the new people?
Yeah.
Okay, so like it was like I was fairly new too, so I took over the overnight, right? And I was like, okay, that's fine. And then they put me with like all the new girls, and I was like, oh my god, like I'm freaking out because I was fairly new, so I was like, oh my god. And then literally the first day that happened, like I didn't know how much I knew until I was put under pressure. Mm-hmm. And to me, that was a big like growing moment. Going back to that.
Start cookie.
Yeah, going back to that. Like quick. I was like, okay, like I've always been a pretty like fast learner, so like going into that, I was like, oh crap, like I know more than I thought I did.
Funny part is I actually taught you because I didn't want to do overnights.
Yeah, you don't want to do overnights, but
that's why I taught you.
No, yeah, but like all of the experience that I got I got a lot of experience working overnight, like dealing with all these clients and dealing with like all these situations that I had never been put like through, and then like working there and then doing all of this, I was like, oh holy crap, like I know more than I think. So to me, that was like a big like growing moment at work. You know what I mean? Because I was like, okay. So then from there, like I had these girls like coming to me and asking me like, hey, what do you think? Like, or hey, can I go to lunch or whatever? And I was like, I don't.
Who am I?
Like, yeah, exactly. So I was like, oh, So I took that like role as a lead, like not literally like I didn't think I was like a supervisor or anything like that. I never did.
She did,
and I think
she felt the power.
No, I did not. No, but I think that's exactly why people would like come to me, because I was like no matter what, not feeling the power, but no matter what they would come to me with, I was like, okay, yeah, let's figure it out, let's see what's going on, or I would always sit there and listen to what was happening, and then they had a question, I'm like, hey, like, no, yeah, you should say this, so things like that, like I was just like, oh, okay, like I'm getting there, So to me, like the next step would be like, obviously, I like where I work. No joke. Like I know people complain, and I complain sometimes, and it's
But it's like, who doesn't complain about work?
Yeah, exactly. Work is work. People complain all the time, but I like what I do. I like who I work with. Like
Yeah.
I mean, there are some people that I'm just like, But if it wasn't for that, like I feel like I wouldn't have the support of Belky and Erik. Yeah, because they saw. Yes, I do.
You have my support.
Yes, I do. Belky was like, "Oh no." She was like the first one to stick out for me.
I was just like, remember when those $100 were missing? I was like, look,
what?
I don't put my hands on fire for anyone, but just the fact that you're saying that it's her, where's the fire? I'm like, come on. You remember when you were like supposedly missing this $100?
I was like short. I was short like I think I was like short $100 like on a deposit that I made. And I was like, oh my God, no, but I remember what I did or whatever, you know? So I was like, oh my God. And I was freaking out because I'm like I don't want to get fired. Like, I literally just started. Did I make a mistake? Did I count it wrong? Like, you know? So going from that, I was like, okay, from now on, whenever I get this kind of amount of money, I'm going to have somebody else count it with me. Just so that I can cover myself. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? So, like, everything that like, all the mistakes that I've done at work or whatever, I've learned from, and I've grown from that, and then now I am where I am.
And I think that's a part of you becoming that's growth, you know? Like, you need to... I learned something in my photo class that's something that stuck to me always, because I never really gave any like emotion or never really cared till some like very high extent for anything until I started doing my photo stuff. I am very much in love with the photo process, you know? So for me to give something that I feel is like worth my heart and soul, like, and someone to put it up and criticize it and say what's wrong with it and all that stuff, that is like total vulnerability.
You know? I love to be criticized.
Like,
you said you love to be?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Because I don't care.
No, but I feel like being criticized, it makes you...
It makes you better.
Yeah, it makes you better.
It makes you better.
I genuinely don't care.
There will be some people in that class that would argue with the professor. I'm like, I'm sorry, but the professor's the professor for a fucking reason.
Yeah, no, but to me it's like,
you know?
If you tell me, like, I don't like you because of this and this and that, I'd be like, okay, cool, bye.
No, but they're judging you in the sense of what you gave, the assignment you gave.
Yeah, exactly. So it's
the assignment I gave, I remember that the guy, it was a picture of Jazmine, and the professor was like, first of all, you didn't remove this bag. And I was like, I know. I saw it on the film, and I was like, what was I thinking? Whatever.
It was a bag.
You know?
Yeah.
Secondly, the shadows of the trees were making it difficult for me to dodge and burn certain parts of the film. He was like, you could dodge and burn all you want. It's not gonna give it its full exposure. And I was like, okay, yeah, I get it. You know? And he's like, otherwise, it's good. You know, you just made yourself... You put yourself in a very complicated situation that's above your expertise. And I was like, can't sit here and be mad about it because I'm not a professional. You know, I'm just like...
You're learning.
Dabbling in this, and I'm learning. You know, certain people don't want to see it that way. They want to see it as, I'm going to show up. I have all the willpower and all the excitement and all the passion and everything, and I'm gonna be great. I'm sorry to break it to everyone, but we're not all great when we start. No, you know, we're good, and people will see our potential, but it's not gonna be off the bat. You know, not everybody.
As people, we're amazing.
I mean, yeah, you know, I turned out pretty good. I could have been worse.
Oh, yeah.
But, you know, like, and that's what I've always respected about people. Every manager, every supervisor, every other person that has, like, you know, told me, given me advice, they have been people that I've respected in the sense where they know how to balance things. They know how to be a friend outside of work, and they've known how to be a supervisor at their job. Because at the end of the day, if you're a supervisor, I can if one of you guys were my supervisor at work, I can't expect you to act the same outside of work than at work. we all have a place to play.
Hold on. When I was lead, when Kimberly had me as lead, I was the same.
Apparently not to everyone, though.
But see, everyone always has an opinion about it.
People just have complaints about...
But see, you've always been...
I'm always like that. That's the thing.
But ever since you walked into the place, you've been some sort of a leader. Can you agree with that?
Yeah.
I don't think so.
Then there you go. You know, like, people are not going to be very, like, lenient or very, like, accepting of people that are leaders. And it's just like, they see that someone is going to be your friend, and they expect you to be like, oh yeah, let's go drink some beers in the middle of the clock or whatever. And then it's okay, call out tomorrow, and I don't care. No, I'm sorry.
That's how I was, though.
Yes, but it doesn't matter what you do, whether you call out that person at that point or not, or whether you call out that person for not doing what you told them to do. You're still gonna be the bad guy somehow.
Oh yeah.
You're still.
You have to be though.
Oh yeah,
you
definitely have to.
You have to be.
And people don't understand that. People don't understand that. Like, just because you're
like bossy.
People. I mean, honestly, look, I really don't, like, if they thought I was bossy or not, that's fine.
It's not even about being bossy, though. Like, you were doing your job.
No, but the thing is, though, that I wasn't, I never
duties.
No, but the thing is that I never took it upon myself to be like, you have to do what I say. Like, no, it wasn't that. It was like, if people come to me and they would ask me, like, oh, what do you think I should do? Or, like, how do we do this? Or how do we do that? Okay. Or, like, oh, hey, can you talk to so-and-so? Like, it was them coming to me. It wasn't me being like, do you need help? Or do, you know what I mean? So, it was...
digressed completely.
Yeah, it was like, oh, dude.
Look, listen.
No, I mean,
this is part of, like, growth of, like the work aspect. You know what I mean? Like, it was... I don't know.
I mean, you spend like what? You guys spend 10 hours.
Unfortunately.
Yeah. Right? Yeah, that's a huge part of your day. I spend 8 hours, and I still feel like, damn, that's a lot to spend with a group of people.
Mm-hmm.
They get to know you.
Oh yeah.
They get to know you, and you
get to know them.
You get to know them, and you have to learn how to work with people you don't like.
I don't.
What do you mean?
I choose not to.
To not work with people?
Yeah, just avoid them.
No, I mean, you can still work with them, but it doesn't mean that you need to speak with them.
Yeah.
No, avoid them. If I don't like you, I'm not going to talk to you.
I mean...
You know it's true.
At some point, you do have to talk to them.
There's one person, specifically in a certain department.
I mean, if you have the ability to be
I think able I got into, like, work
to dabble around certain people, then yes, make it work to your benefit. That's true. You're gonna avoid the situation. I think in a sense,
I just want to avoid.
It's just why make yourself uncomfortable.
Let's just round up the whole topic because we've been talking about work way too much.
I'm so sorry, guys. We got really off topic, but it's because...
When don't we, though?
No, but this is exactly why. Again, this is exactly why.
Happiness.
But this is what people love. That we're not confined into one simple little tiny box.
Well, we have a few minutes, don't we?
We have
so everybody identify their happiness and growth, and then we move on to the next person.
In conclusion.
En conclusión.
En
Azteca América.
Alright, so in conclusion for me, learning to take a step back has given me a lot more peace.
Okay.
Yes.
In conclusion, for me, happiness is simplicity. The least amount of junk that I have in my life, the better. I'm able to identify the little things in life and become happy. As far as growth goes, I think I need to accept that I am not a perfect person.
Yeah.
And I need to take everyone's intake with a very open mind. It hurts a lot to be judged, and I understand that, and you're being exposed and you're vulnerable, And people, it almost feels like people are attacking you, but at the end of the day, they're looking out for your better well-being.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Be accepting of negativity, and even if you're not, take the parts that you agree with and make it your own.
Okay. Work with it, yeah.
Work with it. Work into the point where you're willing to meet in between.
Mm-hmm.
If that person's not willing to accept that, then that's their problem now.
Mm-hmm.
True.
Well, for me, in conclusion, the changes that I made 2 years ago made me the person that I am today.
Yeah.
And I'm very, very, very thankful for the people that opened my eyes. You know? I told them my parents. My parents, my friends. No,
my friends, my eyeglasses.
My eyeglasses. No, yeah. But honestly, like, I feel like Belky said, like, I feel like I do sometimes need to take criticism a certain way. I feel like no matter what, every day I try to make a change.
Okay.
In order for me to grow as a person. And I feel like I'm in the right path right now. Like, I feel like I'm pretty content with where I am. Yeah, and I'm just, like, excited to see what's coming, you know what I mean? Like, this whole, like, podcast and everything that we're doing, like, to me, that's a big change. Because, like, to be honest with you, I've never done something like this. I've never been, like, on YouTube or anything like that, so...
And now you're in the public eye.
Now it's
sharing
like...
your stories.
Y no quería ser youtubera, pero ya
youtubera, that's what you were. Who
I told my mom today, I was like, ya no voy a youtubera, and she was like, what? And I was like, oh, I don't have time to explain that to you.
Who invited Belky? Like,
I
Jazmine,
did.
why?
Hashtag I did.
Oh, Lord Jesus. Alright, and then my conclusion, happiness to me is not having limitations as to what I can say.
Aww. I think
and
I don't not having limitations as to where I can
so you're happy all the time.
I can get to.
I'm happy a lot.
Yeah.
Except when I can't be honest with people, which is like when I first meet them.
Look, at the end of the day, like, we're all grown-ass people. Like, if
hashtag,
you know...
si tienes huevos, si tienes ovarios, handle it.
No, but that's the thing. Like, I can't be, like, myself with new people because they get scared.
I think...
No, but the thing is that you have to find the right kind of people, though. The right...
He wants to tell everybody what's wrong with them, bro. You need to understand that of Erik.
I mean, is that a bad thing?
He wants to let the world know that they're wrong and that he's right.
Is that a bad thing?
Just his motto.
When you tell someone their faults, though, are you saying it so that they can grow from it, or you're just telling them
because you're just
because you're bothered by it?
No,
and so
here's
kind
of like, how my mind works. My mind thinks it. My mouth says it. No, my mouth says it. My mouth says it, and then I think it.
So, have you ever said something to someone that you regretted?
No.
Really?
No.
Oh.
I don't regret anything.
No?
Everything you say is for a reason.
I mean, I feel like everything...
I regretted things.
I regret things. I regret things.
No, because...
It should be next episode. Regrets.
Ooh.
Guys, so next...
No. We're gonna... TBD. To be announced, okay?
No, to be
not... Whatever. TBA, TBD, those.
You know what I meant.
Anyhow, I have no filters.
Yes. This is why we are doing this, because we have no filter.
No filters. Yes. Well, you guys have filters.
I try sometimes. People. Yeah, I try to be the nice
I have
person.
none at all. Like, period.
You know, it's the golden rule.
Is that...
It's the golden rule. What you put out there comes back to you.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That's what I believe in, and some people don't,
Absolutely.
and that's completely fine. But to me, it's like if...
But I'm just honest. I'm not even mean about it, though.
Okay, but see, here's the thing, though. Yeah, here's the thing, though. If...
Have I ever been mean to you guys?
Not personally, not to me.
Exactly.
Personally, not to me. If you say, "Oh, hey, you might be doing this wrong," then all right. I'm like, all right. Well, how can I do better?
I'm like, I don't know.
Perfectly okay. But see, not everybody. Again, not everybody takes criticism.
What have I said to you? You've never said anything that offends me.
Oh, you're welcome.
But I don't get offended easily. It really takes a lot to be offended.
Some people get offended.
Some people are super.
I could say hi and they'll be like, "Ooh."
No, but that's what I'm saying. Like certain people take criticism the wrong way.
Yeah, and that's what I've learned. As
they might feel attacked. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I think that's
right.
that's the concept of growth. That if anybody's listening to this, like, should take growth means that you have to be open to criticism.
True.
Because anything that you do is gonna receive criticism.
Correct.
Okay.
Yeah, so...
And that was our episode.
Yes, so thank you to Jazmine for coming today.
Thank you. Yes.
Yay.
You weren't even...
It was not planned. She came as an audience.
It was a happy moment.
We need a live audience. Tania needs a live...
I need a what?
Tania needs a live audience, so we got her that.
I'm a diva, guys.
I need to make bodyguards and like.
No, Daniela's
gonna be like full meat dress, Lady Gaga like, and I'll be Eminem looking at her like, "Why are you wearing that?" And it's gonna work out.
Okay. All right, well, you guys, it was awesome talking to y'all.
Have a good night, and don't forget to tune in next week.
Have a good night.
Why?
Have the night that you want to have.
Thank you.
Váyanse y emborráchense, nomás que no manejen.
Yeah. Right. We love you guys. So tune in next week. Follow our Instagram at Perfectly Shameless.
We'll try to be more organized next week.
Bye.